Lou Brock was an unlikely hero of Busch Memorial Stadium opener. You might remember Lou Brock as the good half of one of baseball's most lopsided trades ever, when the Chicago Cubs gave up on their young outfielder and sent him to the St. Louis Cardinals on June 15, 1964. Baseball cards of the era seem to capture the general mood just about right. Brock's 1964 Topps issue, number 29, shows him pensive, if not a little miffed, while his 1965 Topps card features a beaming young man ready to step into the spotlight of stardom. A year after that first of Brock's Cardinals pasteboards appeared in wax packs, St. Louis welcomed another new star to their baseball firmament, Busch Memorial Stadium. After playing 46 seasons in Old Sportsman's Park, later renamed Busch Stadium, the Cardinals opened 1966 as one of baseball's model franchises and on the verge of christening a new ballpark. Finally, on May 12th, and with 23 games already in the book, the Cards returned from a road trip and welcomed fans to their new home for a 4-game series with the Atlanta Braves, Thursday through Sunday. In the opener, Cards right-hander Ray Washburn faced off against Braves left Wade Blasingame in the matchup of middle to back of the rotation guys that inspired scant excitement in itself. It didn't help that the Cards entered the game with a 10-14 record while the Braves stood at 14-15. Blah. As would become the case throughout most of Busch Stadium's history, it closed after the 2005 season. Runs were hard to come by on that opening day. The Cardinals broke out with 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but the Braves answered with 1 each in the 4th, 6th, and 8th innings. Only a 2-out RBI single by shortstop Jerry Busch in the bottom of the 9th kept the Cards' hopes alive, and pinch hitter Bob Gibson kept the rally going with a follow-up single of his own. Alas, leadoff man Julio Javier grounded out to send the game into extra innings. The teams battled on through the 10th and 11th, both clubs getting men on base, but both failing to score. In the top of the 12th, the Braves put men on first and second with 2 outs and a chance to take the lead, but Felipe Alou flied out to right field. Then came the bottom of the 12th, and the Cardinals were ready again to go for the win. Curt Flood led off and took first base when Phil Niekro hit him with a pitch. Orlando Cepeda followed up with a grounder into the fielder's choice, but an error by Braves catcher Joe Torre landed Cepeda on second base and Flood on third. To this point in the game, future Hall of Famer Lou Brock had been a non-factor. Alex Johnson had started on left field, and when the Cards had threatened in the bottom of the 10th, Bob Skinner was brought in to pinch hit. Skinner flied out, which opened the door for Brock to come in as a defensive replacement for the 11th. Here in the bottom of the 12th with 2 on and no one out, Brock waited on the on-deck circle as third baseman Charlie Smith strode to the plate. Smith had a smidgen of power and was hitting in the upper 300s early in the 1966 season, which apparently was enough for Niekro and Braves manager Bobby Bragan to view him as a real threat. Niekro rocked Smith on 4 straight pitches so that he could get to Brock. Whether Brock saw this as yet another slight or just a challenge, we may never know. But what we do know is that he stepped up to the plate with the bases loaded and no one out, and a chance to win the game, the first game ever in Busch Memorial Stadium. And that's exactly what he did, dropping a single into center field to drive Curt Flood in for the winning run. In many ways, Busch Stadium became Brock Stadium over the next 14 seasons, and it all began on that day when he was overlooked twice again. The man wouldn't be denied, though, and he made the most of his opportunities. Is it any wonder, then, that Lou Brock is smiling on all his St. Louis Cardinals baseball cards?